My name is Junichi Kudo. I'm a head of application and contents of NTT Communications in Tokyo, Japan. I'm from Tokyo last night. Today, I will share with you the current status of cognitive technology in Japan. Anyway, I have lived in New York in around 1995, only 4 blocks away from here, Battery Park City. Last year, I came to New York again for the first time in about 20 years. When I went to the subway station, a nostalgic smell reminds me all of the memories that I have 20 years ago. That's amazing. And one more story. At that time, my daughter was a little baby. But sadly, she recently got married and left my home. Very sad. So to be honest, I'm deeply moved since I never imagined that I would have this opportunity like this. Well, let's go back to the main topics. Today, I'd like to talk about how we developed Japanese Amelia and meet the needs and expectations of Japanese society. I hope you won't be bored to listen to my Japan English. I wish Amelia would talk as my clone. Okay, how many people know about NTT? Oh, I'm surprised. So many people know about NTT. I'm very surprised. First of all, I will talk about the corporate overview of NTT Group briefly. NTT is the third largest telecommunications carrier in the world. It was established in 1952. Actually, it was once owned by the Japanese government until 30 years ago. But now we already privatized and become a global company. In terms of sales revenue, we recorded 95 billion US dollars in last fiscal year. And we have a lot of presence all over the world. We have 87 countries and regions, global presence, and rated as a Fortune Global 500. And 80% of Fortune 100 companies are already our customers right now. There are some subsidiaries which are operating business in various fields. NTT Communications is doing business that I'm working for currently. NTT Communications is doing the ICT solutions, and NTT East and West for the regional communication, and NTT Docomo is for mobile communication. And you can see the Dimension Data is doing the ICT services, which we acquired 7 years ago. Let's focus on the NTT Communications that I'm currently working for. We are mainly providing data networks, such as VPN or internet, and Securities as a global IT solution, the global IT partner. Our overseas presence all over the world, 43 countries and 120 cities. Network reaches over 196 areas. We have top 3 IP backbone and #1 data center floor space in the world, and so on. We have about 22,000 employees in all over the countries, which about half of them are already non-Japanese, because we are expanding our business field all over the world. In this organization, I'm in charge of the cloud-based applications, such as email, VDI, and of course, the new technologies such as AI or IoTs. Before talking about the main topics, let me talk about current social problem in Japan. As you can see, you know that name, the population pyramid. But I think that shape is not so like a pyramid. It's no longer a pyramid. As you can see, that we are now facing the aging society, which is a serious problem in Japan. The population over 65 is already over 25% of all Japan population. More than that of US, only 15%. As you can see on this chart, the peak population is a baby boomer generation, the born on just after World War II, has already joined elderly generation. So if you had the chance to visit Japan, you may see a lot of elderly people walking on the street, and you may feel this situation. Due to the medical technology advances, the life expectancy in Japan increasing by 87 years for women, 84 years for men. According to the data, half of women that survive until 65 years would live over 90 years. Can you imagine how the elderly population are boom? Also, the quality of life in Japan is quite high. That makes them become more energetic compared with people from other countries. They don't work. Spending paid by government, spending a pension by government, even climbs a mountain, run, or swim in their 70s and 80s life. It indicates in 2030, 1/3 of the population in Japan will become elderly people, and the labor population will decline by 25%. I think that is the biggest problem for Japan in the future. In other words, we are facing economic crisis, so we need AI technology to solve this problem. One more chart. In order to understand Japanese culture, I would like to talk about one more chart. This slide shows you the comparison between US and Japan regarding how many people interacted with cognitive services. In comparison to US, cognitive service is not so popular in Japan currently, only 5%. However, the number of cognitive services user is expected to increase by more than 40% in the near future, rapidly. That's why we are seeing the business chance, and we believe that Amelia can help to transform the communication tools among Japanese people. This slide shows you about LINE. You know LINE? The most popular messaging apps in Japan and part of Asia. The half of the population in Japan are using LINE every day, every time. So the US WhatsApp is more popular, is that right? As you can see, the most notable feature of LINE is cute stickers. So Japanese communication is high context, and we are not straightforward like people in US. So this sticker can express your feelings more than just text. Japanese corporate customers have higher expectation in cognitive service. We expect our cognitive agent to understand our intention and feeling like the real human. But unfortunately, we had not had yet such a perfect cognitive tool right now. Therefore, Japanese companies are trying to collaborate a cognitive agent and human to get the things easier. I really think Amelia is the best solution for it. Actually, we have just launched our brand Kotoha. We said Kotoha, the Japanese version of Amelia placed on our cloud services since last year, combining Amelia and Japanese natural language processing technologies. Anyway, talking about the character, the Japanese people tend to like the second dimension picture like this, like anime and game. Talking about Japanese anime, I believe that all of US people know the Pokemon Go, right? We Japanese have a preference and attracted by those cute characters. From this perspective, this is very important of localization for us. So we created an attractively graceful woman like the lady on the screen. So anyway, Kotoha stands for communications to the happiness. But actually, the word Kotoha sounds like language in Japanese. With this character and the brand, we are expecting that our business will expand wider and become a leading AI transformed corporation in Japan and global. I will introduce about Japanese a little bit. The Japanese is said to be the most difficult and most ambiguous language in the world. And this is the most difficult point for Amelia. For example, no word boundaries, and we are using 3 major characters. Including alphabet, we are using 4 characters. And complex functional expression, and we can omit subject and object. And big difference is word order. No need to say the subject like English. We understand it by context. For example, when you say, did you go anywhere in this summer? In English, perfect English. In Japanese, you don't have to say the subject like I or you or they. But we understand the subject, also sometimes even the object. So you can say, did go in this summer. It's just a perfect translation, this Japanese. Such as short sentences, we understand what you want to say by context. So when we developed Japanese Amelia, we had to analyze the omitted subject in the sentence. That's a very difficult point. In terms of NLP as a flagship career, NTT R&D has been leading Japanese NLP technology for over 40 years. We are on top of the world regarding Japanese voice recognition technology. By combining Amelia and our Japanese analysis, Kotoha can understand what customers means more deeply. NTT R&D also has the original semantic dictionary and parsing technology. With those technologies, we could realize Japanese Amelia, Kotoha, with high level of accuracy. I have a good news for you. Actually, we got the first launch of our use case, for commercial-based use case in Japan, just last week. SMBC, Nikko Securities Incorporated, one of the biggest security companies in Japan. It has also the New York office in the Midtown, launched a line-based cognitive services using Kotoha, a solution that responds customers' inquiries. And Kotoha is highly rated for its high level of accuracy. I have a demonstration movie. Let's take a look at it.
This is a demonstration of Kotoha. Customer can select between AI or operator. Kotoha asks what customer want her to process. Customer request for IPO. Kotoha shows the menu bar. Customer select registration. Kotoha asks if customer has account. Kotoha guides how to create account. A. Shops, B. Smartphone app, C. Website, D. Mail. Customer choose shops. Kotoha shows the shops list across Japan.
We got good feedback from Nikko Securities regarding their launch. And this would be a good start for us to gain their trust in new customers. Nikko Security is working to improve their service through collaboration between human operator and cognitive agent. The reason why they decided to use it is to deal with increasing inquiries with fewer operators. By implementing this cognitive service, they want to get broader new customers since chat service will quickly respond in real time. It will lead customer satisfaction. It is not only for Nikko Securities' needs, since currently we got so many contacts from our prospective customers. which proves that our business has a good opportunity to grow. So we believe that we can create this market soon. Now it's time to wrap up my presentation. Let me share about our future plan. We just started Kotoha last year, and we want to focus on the Japanese market for the first year. After we succeed in Japanese market, we will expand in the Asian countries next year and improve the accuracy and the functions. We are also aiming to implement Kotoha as a part of smart society in next Olympic game will be held at Tokyo in 2020. Until then, we will realize personalized AI that support people and ease their work in their daily life. We are looking forward to exploring the market and expanding Japanese Amelia, Kotoha, with our best partner, IPsoft.